The air is heavy with the smell of rain and extinguished gas lamps. The police, in their haste, call it a suicide case. But the details always betray the truth. A simple scratch on the wooden floorboards, and a light almond smell in the air which only an expert nose cannot mistake. Things only an exceptional mind notices.
Excuse me for the interruption, sir, but the matter does not need all this complexity. The chair has been dragged, not kicked, and the knot. It is a sailor's knot, but the man's hands are soft like the hands of an office clerk. The crime is clear as the sun. But, allow me, where are we? And what is this strange box you are talking to? And this light? It burns with this strength without a flame.
What happens when a fictional character becomes more famous than the person who created him? Welcome to The Strange Guest, where time means nothing, and we speak directly with the minds who shaped our world. Today's guest, Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. Doctor, adventurer, and the man who gave us Sherlock Holmes, then tried to kill him. Years after his death, Holmes still lives, a legend now owned by everyone. Sir Arthur, what's the first thing that strikes you about being here in this strange new world?
My dear fellow, this realm is certainly a spectacle of science and sheer delightful confusion. Everywhere, light burns without flame, and voices echo from invisible boxes. It is quite disorienting for a man of my era, rather like stepping into a story written by Jules Verne himself. My senses are quite overwhelmed by its energetic pulse.
It is understandable, Mr. Conan Doyle, that this era feels like stepping into a grand scientific romance. Considering your keen eye for detail, honed in the gaslit streets you knew, do you believe your brilliant powers of observation could still dissect the complexities of our bewildering new age? How might your methods adapt when secrets are hidden in vast amounts of information, or a crime is an unseen break in data rather than a physical footprint?
My dear fellow, observation always finds the truth, no matter the era. Whether a footprint in the mud or an unseen break in this data you speak of, it is merely a different kind of clue. This talk of digital shadows and millions of pictures shared every minute sounds like a monstrous puzzle. But the principles of logic remain the same. The mind, you see, is still the greatest detective, connecting these disparate fragments.
Indeed, Mr. Conan Doyle, your deep trust in the human mind as the ultimate detective, able to uncover truth in any age, is truly striking. This enduring principle makes me wonder about the very beginning of your own extraordinary insight. What early experiences, perhaps from your childhood or medical studies, helped shape such a keen intellect and unique way of observing the world?
Ah, you are curious about the origins of my peculiar vision. My early life, you see, was far from a quiet, predictable tale. Growing up, one truly learns to observe when circumstances demand it, to watch faces, to listen to tones, to understand the truth that often lies hidden beneath the surface of things. This constant need to see clearly, to find order in what felt like chaos, naturally sharpened my intellect. It was a grand, unplanned apprenticeship in deduction, preparing me for mysteries yet to come.
That phrase, grand, unplanned apprenticeship, truly paints a vivid picture, Mr. Conan Doyle. It sounds like a challenging but powerful school for your mind. Can you tell us more about those early demands or moments of chaos you mentioned? What did they look like? And do you feel that this very need to find order in a difficult world was what really made your mind so sharp and drew you to solving mysteries?
The chaos, you ask? Imagine a compass constantly spinning without true north. One learned to watch faces for the slightest shift, to listen not just to words, but to what was not said, always seeking some pattern in the unpredictable tides of a household. This constant need to impose order on a world that often made no sense. Indeed, it forged the very tools I would later use to craft my tales and solve my puzzles.
Mr. Conan Doyle, it is powerful to hear how your early life, that compass constantly spinning, truly forged your unique mind. Considering how this need for order sharpened your intellect, how did your time studying medicine then guide you towards the world of writing stories? And what specific needs or moments truly lit the spark for you to create a character like Sherlock Holmes, who brings such order to mysteries?
Well, medicine was my first school of detection. Every illness was a puzzle, every patient a mystery to solve, exactly like a criminal case. Then, writing became a way to mend my purse, you see, a practical necessity more than a grand artistic calling at first. Holmes arrived as a character built on that very method, a blend of science and imagination, putting all those years of careful observation to a grander, more public use.
It is quite insightful, Mr. Conan Doyle, how your practical beginnings in medicine, and even the need to fill your purse, laid the scientific groundwork for a character like Sherlock Holmes. From those grounded roots, though, came something truly extraordinary, a character embraced worldwide. What unique blend, do you believe, existed between Holmes's keen mind, Dr. Watson's steadfast perspective, and the intricate stage of Victorian London that made them all so deeply beloved?
The secret, I believe, was in the blend. Each piece made the others shine. Holmes, with his grand intellect, was like a blinding light, but Dr. Watson was the one who made that light understandable for everyone. He was the ordinary man, seeing the extraordinary, helping readers grasp the genius. And Victorian London, full of its fog and secrets, was the perfect stage, a character in itself that made every mystery feel real and urgent.
Mr. Conan Doyle, your explanation of how Holmes, Dr. Watson, and Victorian London combined to captivate so many is wonderfully clear. With such immense popularity, did you ever feel that Holmes himself began to live a life of his own, perhaps even pushing against your own intentions for him, long before his famous encounter at the Reichenbach Falls? It must have been a fascinating experience to see your creation achieve such a powerful presence in the world.
Did Holmes have a life of his own? He certainly did, and it felt like he became a force of nature, pulling me along with him. The public truly embraced him, but that love also meant he became a demanding master, dictating my path. I found myself trapped, in a way, by the very character I had brought into being.
It truly brings home the feeling, Mr. Conan Doyle, to hear you describe Holmes as a demanding master who trapped you. Did that deep frustration, perhaps even a sense of resentment, then lead you to consider bringing an end to the very character who had brought you such fame? Was that decision, in essence, your ultimate rebellion against your own creation?
You hit the nail on the head, Arthur. That frustration and true resentment grew inside me. Ending Holmes felt like the only way out, a desperate act of rebellion against the character who had taken over my life. Imagine being famous for something you came to truly dislike.
That declaration of resentment, Mr. Conan Doyle, truly highlights the profound struggle you faced with your own creation. With such a strong feeling driving you to an act of rebellion, I am curious about the moment it actually happened, the famous scene at Reichenbach Falls. What unfolded there, and what was the immediate vivid reaction from the public when they learned of Holmes's apparent end?
At Reichenbach, I truly believed I had finally freed myself. I pushed Holmes and Moriarty over that cliff, a decisive end to the whole affair. The immediate public cry was astonishing. A deluge of letters and black armbands, a protest I never quite imagined. I simply thought people would understand my need for peace.
Mr. Conan Doyle, that protest from the public, with all its letters and black armbands, sounds like an unbelievable storm of feeling, far beyond what you expected. Such a huge, emotional outcry must have weighed heavily on your own spirit. Did it start to change your mind about what you had done, perhaps making you think again about Holmes's future? I am so curious how such a powerful wave of public feeling reshaped your thoughts on the character.
That storm, Arthur, it was truly something. Imagine being buried under a mountain of letters, all screaming for a character you had just put to rest. Their sadness felt like a physical weight, crushing my plans to move on. It was a clear message. The public owned Holmes, not me.
It is quite striking, Mr. Conan Doyle, to hear you say the public owned Holmes, feeling that immense pressure. Given such a powerful force, what exact moment or what specific circumstances finally led you to set aside your own desire and bring Sherlock Holmes back from the dead? It seems the will of your readers ultimately overcame the author's original plan for his creation.
You want to know the moment I gave in? It wasn't a single moment, Arthur. It was a slow, steady siege. The constant letters, the public's real grief, it simply wore me down over time. And then, a publishing company offered a truly princely sum for his return, a sum even a stubborn author like me found hard to ignore.
Mr. Conan Doyle, it is remarkable how both the public's pleas and a substantial payment eventually brought Holmes back. This powerful moment makes me wonder if a character, once they leave the author's hand and enter the world, truly remains their sole property. Do you think a beloved creation ultimately belongs more to the many people who love it than to the person who first imagined it?
That is the core of it. Arthur, a truly grand question. Sherlock Holmes proved to me that a character, once born, can become larger than life itself, owned by the many, not the one. He lived in their imaginations, not just my study, a truly vast and shared dream. It is a peculiar sort of fame, when your creation becomes everyone's.
It is truly striking, Mr. Conan Doyle, how you describe Holmes as a character now belonging to the many, a shared dream. How then does such a beloved figure continue to live and grow in the world, far beyond your original tales, changing and appearing in new forms through various stories and plays? This must be the ultimate proof of how a powerful creation can truly outlive and expand beyond its author.
You are absolutely right, Arthur. Holmes refuses to stay put on my pages, you see. He bursts forth now, appearing in what you call moving pictures, on stages, even in strange new drawings and stories. It is quite uncanny how he keeps evolving, a true testament to, well, to not being able to get rid of the fellow, I suppose. He truly has a life of his own, long after I tried to bury him.
It is truly fascinating, Mr. Conan Doyle, how Holmes has taken on a life of his own, as you said. I know you also wrote many other works, like historical novels and plays, hoping they would be your lasting legacy. How were those stories received by the public, and did you find the recognition you hoped for in them, separate from Holmes?
Ah, those other books. My true passions, you see. I poured my heart into tales of knights and faraway lands, hoping they would be my legacy. But the public always preferred Holmes. It was like trying to shout over a brass band. No one truly heard the quiet melody I was playing. Even now, it seems, the game is always afoot for the famous detective, not the humble historian.
It must be truly bittersweet, Mr. Conan Doyle, to pour your soul into works you loved, only to find the character you tried to leave behind became your greatest mark on the world. How does it truly feel, deep down, to be remembered most for the very creation you wish to move past, almost as if he overshadows your own artistic desires? It is a peculiar twist of fate and artistic irony, to be defined by something you once tried to escape.
Arthur, it is a truly peculiar twist, this fame of mine. I poured my soul into grand histories, but fate had other plans for my legacy. To be forever tied to the very detective I tried to kill. It is a peculiar sort of immortality, wouldn't you say?
Mr. Conan Doyle, this truly is a peculiar kind of immortality, when a character outlives even his creator. Thank you for this unforgettable journey. And to everyone listening, if you were Conan Doyle, would you have killed Sherlock Holmes? Or does a story belong to its readers once it leaves the writer's hands? Tell us in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe to The Strange Guest